You mentioned inflation. I'm trying to give people a good example of what that might look like. I remember Brazil, like in the 80s, where they just kept printing money. We've heard about Germany in the 30s, maybe Venezuela now. Like, to get people's head around inflation, like what's happening when there is an inflationary environment?
Well, when you have hyperinflation, right, which is what you're describing, it's money is like a hot potato. I mean, nobody wants to hold on to it because it's going to lose value quickly. And so as soon as you get it, you got to turn around and spend it, because if you hold it too long, you won't be able to buy very much. So the velocity really picks up, and you have a real loss of confidence among the population in the future purchasing power of that medium of exchange. And that is going to happen. We have put ourselves into a position where ultimately the dollar is going to implode. The only thing that is standing between the dollar and hyperinflation now is the fact that it's the world's reserve currency. So we're able to get away with this. We can keep printing money and exporting it. And nations all around the world are willing to hold on to the money that we're printing. And so therefore that money is not in the US economy bidding up goods and services. It's being hoarded outside the United States, and it's being invested in financial assets. A lot of it, US government obligations or other debt instruments. So instead of all the money chasing real goods, it's chasing financial assets. And so it's not a problem, at least it doesn't appear to be a problem, when government creates inflation and the inflation results in asset prices going up. I mean, apart from increasing the big disparity between the very rich and the rest of the population, right? The wealth disparity continues to grow as inflation, shows up in financial assets. But eventually, the world is going to figure this out. The world is not going to want to continue to subsidize this extreme profligacy especially now that we have really turned it up. I mean, we have increased government spending by, I'd say, 50% since COVID-19. I mean, the federal government now is spending $6.7 trillion a year and rising, and that's not going to go down. I mean, every time the government has ratcheted up spending in the past because there was an emergency, the extra spending never goes away. It just becomes permanent part of the budget. So we have dramatically escalated the size of the US government and the cost of maintaining it. And if the American public is not going to bear that burden, then the rest of the world is going to have to do it by absorbing all the dollars that we are spending. And this is going to exert a tremendous cost on the world as far as the expense of underwriting this. They have to supply us with the goods that we don't produce, and they have to loan us the money that we haven't saved.